information. Dial it in on your TV station. Heed the call, the escalation. This is your radio salvation. Go, 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 go.
And a good morning to everybody out there, or afternoon, depending upon the part of the country or the world that you are listening in. Welcome to another edition of Twin Brothers from Different Mothers. I am Aaron Phillips, at least that's what the hat says on my head, and you'll notice conspicuous in his absence is Mr. Neil Portnoy. He is on the road as we speak. So, sitting in for Neil, it took a lot to twist his arm to come back to us after spending some time with us last week. My dear friend, my mentor, Mr. Rich Perez. How are you, sir?
Very good. Thank you. Thank you for having me again.
I know. I don't know. So yeah, you must have had really nothing to do today in order to accept coming in today.
Well, hey, it's always a good time when you're involved. And, of course, meeting Neil last week, that was great. And what an established guy he is in the art world as well.
Absolutely. Listen, I'm privileged over the years to be surrounded by people like you in the radio industry, Neil with what he does, Aaron behind the mic here at Go Live and everything. And today we are going to have a guest that's also a specialist in his field. He's an author, wannabe comedian using his own biography. He's written a book that I will save the title on, but you can check it out on Avant, A-V-A-N-T, poppooks.com. I just want to let everybody know that the title of the book may not be purposeful for those under the age of 17. So we'll just kind of go with the politically correct introduction of the book called Oh, the A-Holes You'll Meet in Life. He's done poetry about that, and we'll talk about his background and how he came about writing a book about a-holes.
Interesting. Interesting. I when I read that, I was like, I think I might have to read this book.
I'll tell you what, my wife and I, we met Schwa Latard is his name, by the way. We met him at, during the holidays out here, a lot of casinos have those fairs and business trade shows. And my wife and I went one day, I think it was at the Santa Fe, if I'm not mistaken, where it was. And we're just walking through, and all of a sudden we see this book sticking out in the magazine rack he had set up. We were talking with his wife because he was talking with somebody else. And all of a sudden we see this book entitled, as I just read, and we had to stop for a second. And we thumbed through the book. Now, I love my daughters, as any father would, as I know you love yours and your grandchildren. I have one daughter, and I won't name which one. She's not a fan of people.
Okay.
In her industry, what she does, there are a lot of people that just don't get it, if you know what I mean.
Right.
So it was perfect for her, and we bought it. And I think, did we have you autograph it to her, or we weren't sure? I think we kind of left it blank. So we were going to have him autograph it right to that daughter. But my wife and I read it. She read it when she was home on a recent stopover, and she loved it. Now it was so good, we put it in a box and sent it to my other daughter to read as well. So it just kind of caught our eye. It was an interesting book to kind of catch up on.
So it's not photos of people you've come across.
It's not a coffee book table.
Right. Hey,
book, no.
Look at Jim, this guy. He's really bad.
You'd have to change all the names to protect the innocent for that standpoint. But no, I'm excited because the book was great, and you'll see the videos, you'll see covers of it coming up as well. But it'll be fun to talk to him about all that he's done because, like I said, he's in his bio, which I'll read. He's done an awful lot. He's got a website. He's a self-publisher, all that good stuff. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in into the chat room. You're watching us on the Go Live Network. We appreciate it. Please reshare our link to all your friends and family to watch the show as well. We greatly appreciate it. Neil, we're hoping, should be calling in sometime through the show so that we have an opportunity to see where he is on the road on his way back to Vegas. I see Dorothy is in the chat room. We appreciate it, Dorothy. Just elbow your husband. Give us a call. The phone line is 702-660-7666 is our number. We appreciate it. And as always, if you're not able to watch us live, you can always watch us on the Go Live Vegas app on your Apple or Android. And, of course, we're also live right now on Go Live Vegas YouTube, Periscope, and Twitter as well. All right. As usual, Mr. Rich, I know this is the first time, although you observed it last week. Neil and I like to go over some topics of the week.
Okay, let's do it.
And
I'll do my best, Neil.
I was going to say, like Neil, you didn't prep for any of it either, so we'll get to it.
This is coming off the cuff.
Absolutely. All right, today, for all you sports fans who are already missing football, even though it's been a week, the XFL starts today. The XFL 2.0 version.
Yes.
Vince McMahon and company. Now, he's taken a little more time to organize it this year than he did the first time, like a little over a year. He's got Andrew Luck's dad. What's his first name?
Oliver.
Oliver Luck. He's the commissioner. Starts today. There's a couple of games today, and then there's 2 games tomorrow. And I have the schedule today. Unfortunately, my printer cut off the games for tomorrow, but they are televised, I think, on ESPN, 2, I think, and maybe ABC. So today we have the Seattle Dragons versus the DC Defenders, 2 p.m. Oh, on ABC Eastern, and the Las Vegas Wildcats will take on the Houston Roughnecks, 5 p.m. Eastern on Fox. All right.
We have a team?
We do?
Did you say Las Vegas Wildcats?
No, Los Angeles Wildcats.
Oh, okay.
I might have said Las Vegas, but it wouldn't surprise me with all the pro teams coming into town.
Yes.
But no, it was the Los Angeles Wildcats. All right.
Okay.
Your take on the XFL in general, being the sports guy and football fan that you are.
I kind of look at this like the 3-on-3 basketball.
Okay.
Okay. The hype was good. It started up, and then it just kind of died after a while. But here's what I'm going to say a little bit differently here, because I know some people involved with the XFL.
Okay.
And I really think they have an opportunity here to really do something good. People love football.
Absolutely.
They really do. And I think everybody in general wants this to survive.
I think so.
And I think they could. I mean, there's some good people involved.
Mm-hmm.
Oliver Luck, of course, is one of the better, well-known people.
Right.
He's the father of Andrew.
Right on.
And I think they have a great opportunity to make it grow. Yeah, a worst scenario, 2 of these teams are excellent, and the NFL goes, all right, we're going to
take them, right? Because the NFL's always talking expansion anyway.
Right.
All right, we have a phone. We have a call on the line. Is this who I hope it is? Caller, you're on the air with us.
Yeah, it's who you hope it is.
Oh.
On the way back to Vegas.
Neil Portnoy on the road. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. What a great week in San Diego. Temperature was in the 70s. Went to Coronado Island. Did La Jolla. Worked my tail off. Drawing people, not insulting people.
Right.
For a client at a trade show. And I'm about an hour outside of Vegas, so we got an early start. Had my bagel and cream cheese and coffee with my beautiful wife here, Dorothy, and we're on the road.
Right on. So you must be somewhere around Nipton, Zizix, coming close to Prim, right?
Yeah, we just passed Baker, so we're on our way to Prim.
Okay, cool. We'll drive safely for sure. By the way, great picture. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say hi to Rich. You guys sound great. Aaron, turn your mic up a little bit.
Hey, I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best, but I can't draw like you.
Well, it's all right. I doodle. It's paint by numbers. They're all underneath.
As long as he colors within the line, everything is good. So nobody knows the difference that way.
Well, they taught me in kindergarten, stay within the lines, and I never forgot.
Exactly. Hey, we were just talking about the XFL, which kicks off today. Give me your quick thoughts on the XFL.
Well, I think wasn't there a game or the game in Dallas or New York or I don't know. They've tried this thing before with different leagues, and they pay them and they call it the B League. And the difference, I think, in my opinion, is they've got some national coverage early. They've got that part of the equation settled. I mean, ESPN's going to be broadcasting the game. Before it was the name people were the coaches. You know, they brought the coaches
Right.
that had the big name. You know, Spurrier did it for a while. I don't really know other than I was listening to this morning, and they said that Andrew Luck, the former Indianapolis quarterback's father, is somewhat involved in the league, and they were talking about the differences is what the fans want. The fans want to speed up the game. So they're doing a 25-second clock. The clock is not going to stop when on an incomplete pass. And I guess inside, 2 minutes of this, 2 minutes of that, they're going to have stoppage. But it's going to be a much faster game, more action. I think the fans are going to really like that.
Yeah, I
What's your
have.
view on it, guys?
I have. It's Oliver Luck that you're referring to, and he's like the commissioner of the league. He is basically Vince McMahon's right-hand man with the league. I printed out some of the rule differentials. First of all, there'll be no extra point kicks. Everything is going to be from scrimmage. If you're going to go for extra point, it's like 1 point from the 2-yard line, 2 points from the 5-yard line, and 3 points from the 10-yard line. There'll be no kicking extra points. Safer kickoffs and punts. They're moving the kickoff line to the 30. You are allowed 2 forward passes behind the line of scrimmage. Once the ball goes forward over the line of scrimmage, you cannot do another forward pass. And as you just mentioned, they are changing the play clock to 25 seconds, which is a running clock, except for within 2 minutes. So, and of course, they're trying to define a catch a heck of a lot better than the NFL did. So hopefully that will help.
As you can see, I did much more homework
Yeah.
on the road than in studio.
Very impressive. Very impressive. Hey, I want to mention, as long as I have you on the phone, I will go into some of the other things. But this past week, literally, we lost 3 major, I think, icons in Hollywood. The first one was, of course, Kirk Douglas, passed away this week at 103. God bless him. Who doesn't want to live to 103?
No, his wife is 100 years old. How about that?
God bless. That's crazy. Think about that, right?
Wild.
Gene Reynolds, one of the creators of MASH, the great TV series, 96 years old. He was an original Little Rascal. Did you know that?
I did know that. Again, did my homework.
Wow. And then
well, you know what? I don't know whether they're eating organically, they're drinking scotch. You notice whenever this happens and somebody, hits a milestone age like I'm 90, I'm 100, they throw in this little caveat where, well, how did you do it? Well, I drank, Johnny Walker Black.
right,
for the
glass of
last
wine
40
every
years.
day.
It's crazy.
Absolutely. Last one I want to mention, this just happened yesterday or the day before. Actor Orson Bean, at the age of 90.
He got hit by a car.
Exactly. He was hit and killed by a car in the Venice area of L.A. the other day, 91 years young. So what do they also say, Rich? Like, things happen in threes, right?
Yeah, it's always 3. It's very bizarre.
So we
Very
got that.
bizarre.
We got that going there, unfortunately. So, may they all rest in peace, and thoughts and prayers to their family. One other note on sports, Neil, that I want to mention, and then I've got some other goofy headlines. You can stay on as long as you want before we bring up our guest, or if you want to keep your eyes on the road, that's fine too. The Vegas Golden Knights purchase an AHL franchise membership with possible relocation to Henderson. Rich, what's your thoughts on having 2 hockey teams? Yes, one's pro, one's AAA, essentially, in one city.
Capitalization. That's what they're doing. Hey, everybody loves going to a Vegas Knights game, but this is much cheaper and fun, right? What do you think, Neil?
Rich, I got to mention. They've already come up with the name of the club. They're going to call them the Silver Knights, which is really what the Golden Knights should have been called because, of course, we're the Silver State. But interesting that we're going to have the Golden Knights and the Silver Knights in the same city.
It's crazy. Yeah, all we need is the Platinum Knights, and we're going to be in business.
All Golden Knights.
Hey, look, I'm going to let you guys talk. I am going to keep
Okay.
my eyes on the road.
Drive safe.
Co-pilot here, Dorothy, is running my board, so to speak.
Right on.
And we'll see you guys. Have a great show. I'm going to listen to it for the hour that I got left to get back into the city.
Right on. Thanks, man. Thanks for calling in. Get home safely. Neil Portnoy on the road from San Diego. So the one thing I was just going to mention here is that all Golden Knights fans are able to place a $50 per seat season ticket deposit on this new team, and yet it hasn't even been officially approved by the NHL governors.
It's crazy. I think they're trying to see how many they can raise.
Interest?
Yeah, the interest level. And then once that happens, boom, now you're in and you've got a team, and here we go again. But it's good. It's a win-win for the Golden Knights because now if they want a player, he can come the same
Yeah,
the same
day.
hour,
Yeah,
actually.
that's right.
Same hour, right? And he's on the team. So.
Couple of quick hit topics before we bring up our guests, and I apologize that we're running a few minutes behind. But I saw in the news that we were talking about this before we went on the air. Woman sues company after she won a Toyota. It was a challenge, a competition within the restaurant that she works for beer sales at a Hooters in Florida. And she won a Toyota, only that it turned out to be a Toy Yoda, as in the Star Wars character. And now she is suing the company. Her name is Jody Berry from Panama City, Florida, and she's now suing the company for misrepresentation.
Wow, that's a dynamite trial to attend.
That's crazy.
If Chewbacca walks in, she's in trouble. But I look. The bottom line is they should have spelled that out, because if they put Toyota spelled Toyota, she has a very valid lawsuit. If they wrote Toy Yoda, that's probably either Yoda or Baby Yoda.
Or
right?
Baby Yoda. Well, Baby
One or
Yoda
the
now is
other.
like the hot commodity nowadays.
Oh yeah,
right?
he's the guy.
He's the man. All right, two other quick topics. If you love In-N-Out Burger, you can now wear them on your feet. That's right, not the burgers. But for some reason, their takeout cups, which we now have up on the screen with the red and the white and the palm trees, they're now making slip-on sneakers with it's now the In-N-Out Burger drink cup shoes inspired by the logo are now available for $64.95 on the In-N-Out website.
Very Vans looking.
Yes, but they're like boat shoes is what I used to call them
I
back in the
think
day.
they're kind of cool. I mean,
Would you spend $65 to have In-N-Out on your feet though?
Well,
Right.
I mean, does that come with a McDonald's shirt? Or Burger King pants? I don't know.
Lifetime
the King
hamburgers for
crown.
life.
I don't know. Yeah, come on. I don't know. Sometimes these people, the T-shirts were kind of cool.
Right.
They had this very nostalgic look with the cars and so forth. But
Right.
I don't know about the shoes.
I don't know about that one either, wearing it on your feet. Last but not least, before we bring our guest up, man buys a closed Walmart to house his 225 muscle car collection. Would you do that? Now, they always say Walmart has everything,
Right.
but I think this kind of stretches it a wee bit.
Yeah, look, this is not the Shelby Museum.
No.
This is something else altogether. I think I'm going to have to pass on this one because I barely own two cars.
I know, right?
That's enough for me. But there's guys like Jay Leno.
Yeah.
They have these Reggie Jackson.
Right.
Cars that go for miles, and they're probably cool to see. But
But he
boy,
bought a Walmart to house
gotta
that
change it.
225. That's like a car a year he could drive. Crazy.
I don't
All
know.
right. With that, we're going to really take a quick 30-second commercial, quick break, so that our guest can come up and join us, and we can have some fun with his book. And Mr. Schwa Leitart will be right here. When we come back, you're listening to Twin Brothers from Different Mothers. 30 seconds. We'll be right back.
Ruling the nation, dominant on your TV station. Be the call, the escalation. This is your radio salvation. Go, 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 go.
All right. Welcome back to Twin Brothers from Different Mothers. Joining me to my right is our guest, who can also fit in as a brother of Neil and I, because he's got the same hairstylist.
Triplets.
Exactly. Schwa Leitart is a writer, poet, freelance journalist, storyteller, and wannabe comedian. He has written for a variety of cannabis magazines, including High Times and Vegas Cannabis, as well as lifestyle magazines like Rise Entertainment and Bear Magazine, covering topics from music to activism to counterculture. A self-described punk rock poet. And in 2019, Schwa published his first book, Oh, the A-Holes You'll Meet. It's a comic book poetry guide to life. And this year, we'll be publishing a book of poetry and short story cookbook. Please welcome to the show, Mr. Schwa Leitart. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Very nice to be here.
Thank you for joining us.
I appreciate it. You know, I wanted to start off
Yeah.
by saying there was one more death that.
What's that? Did we
in
miss
the
one?
Literary world, Mary Higgins Clark,
yes.
92 years old.
Thank you. I did see that.
My love of books actually started with romance, and she was one of the romance novelists out there that did
Right
a
on.
fantastic job of putting out some just phenomenal books. So,
Right on.
let that be known.
My mom used to read her stuff all the time. I have all the hardcover books my mom used to read.
Yeah, well, hold on to
her.
those now.
I will, yeah. None of them are signed, unfortunately. But, so welcome. So let me ask you a question. You just kind of hinted at it, that your love of literature started with her, but kind of give us a little progression as to your background a little bit and what took you down this line, especially getting to the book that we're talking about here for everybody to enjoy.
Yeah, well, the book was originally a poem for my daughter when she was graduating high school. You know, she was running into a variety of a-holes. And, you know, I told her, well, this is never going to end. Get used to that. So, and she was in an art program in her school. So the idea was that she was going to do the illustrations for this poem that we did. And then, of course, teenage life fell in place, and boyfriend and graduation and all of that. So I put it aside. I was also at the time writing for a variety of magazines, and I interviewed a graffiti artist that I discovered in Los Angeles, an up-and-coming kid that would bomb billboards full color, and they were very detailed, and I was just surprised it was on Sunset Boulevard. So I was able to locate this guy through Instagram, and after hassling him over and over because nobody's ever seen his face, he finally let me do an interview. After the interview, which was in Rise magazine, I hit him up again and said, hey, would you be interested in illustrating this poem I wrote for my daughter? And he said, sure. And so that took about a year in the making. And then my wife, who handles all the graphics and post-production, everything in my life outside of what I write, and actually she comes in and makes sure that I sound like I'm making sense. She, you know, it took a year for us to put it all together, and then we came out with it. I've been writing my whole life, you know, a tragedy and love. Got me writing, which love is also a tragedy, so that, you know, helps. And so, you know, writing something that, yeah, I'm dyslexic, so it was something that I had to really polish and put time into. I wanted to go to school to write screenplays, so I had gone to summer school at UCLA while in high school, and realized that and Charles Bukowski's book, Hollywood, let me know that I really don't want to be in the Hollywood scene. But I still loved writing. So I was talking with a creative writing teacher while in college, asking him, you know, what's the best way to become a good writer? And he said, well, 3 things is really all you need: experience, writing, and reading. And so I took all my college money and I dropped out and I bought books and I focused on reading. And I spent many years just reading, and then slowly developed life experience, and now I'm here.
There you
and
go.
So I've started putting all my writings together now, and now we're publishing.
And now the culmination,
Nice.
he's on Twin Brothers from Different Mothers.
Absolutely.
Rich, your question. Fire away.
So, getting into the book scene, look, a lot of people want to write a book, and I hear so many like stories. Oh, you got to get a publisher, you got to get this, that, and the other. How did you tackle all those issues in writing one book?
You know, I not only did I want to be a writer, but I wanted to be a rock star. Writing was much easier.
Sure.
But it's much like being in the music industry, especially now. You know, I have a lot of friends that are in the music industry and that have to hustle. They're on their own label or a smaller label, and they have to play and get out there and meet the people and do all the real work now that it takes. And writing's the same way. One of the fears that I found with the big guys is that, and talking with people who have published through the Big Penguin and all those guys, that, you know, it's not a sure thing. And you could end up owing them money. They'll print your books, but then you've got to make sure they sell. So it's all up to you to do the marketing and all of that stuff. So at that point, what do you need them for to take the percentage? And, you know, I've been marketing and doing sales my whole life. So, you know, why not focus on my own projects?
Nice.
Great point. Great point. I mean, I think nowadays everybody's into the DIY.
Yeah.
Do it yourself.
Yeah.
That's the punk rock vibe, you know.
Yeah.
So that's where that all comes from.
That is a Ramones song, I think.
Yeah.
There you go.
I want a DIY.
Yeah, exactly. There is a song like that? Geez, I don't know. All right. Your background. Now, what did you go to college for? What was your studies when you originally started?
Well, I was going to school for creative writing.
You were? Okay.
Yeah, I went to. I left this little desert town called Ridgecrest, right across the border here in the Mojave Desert.
Okay.
And went to San Luis Obispo to start junior college, so I could transfer to UCLA. And that was, I was also working. I had worked my whole life, pretty much since I was 5. My first job was counting worms at a bait and tackle shop. And I've been doing it ever since. My mom worked in a natural history museum and would always find me jobs to keep me out of trouble. So, I did a lot of weed pulling in the desert here. And so working, I realized that school's going to cost me a lot of money, and if I really just need to read and practice writing, that's what I should do. And so that's what I've done, but also, I've supported myself my whole life. So I've had handfuls of jobs my whole life, which have led to the cooking industry, which I was involved in for a long time, which led to the natural product industry, which I was involved in for a long time, and then the fashion industry, which is what I left right before I went into the cannabis industry with my wife.
You can get more information from Schwa's website, Avant, A-V-A-N-T, pop, all one word, books.com. And not only does your website have are all these books, are not all your books on your website, right?
That is correct.
You also have artwork there.
Yeah, so what we did, we had a cannabis company called Giggle Therapeutics in California when the medical was going through. Once the adult use was happening, we had to put our company on hold because the state of California couldn't figure out how they wanted to roll that process out. We had pulled all of our money, our 401k and all of that, to invest in the company. And we realized while California was making their decisions of what they were going to do, we could not survive on the money we had. So for years, I've been collecting art and books. And so we started putting that up for sale just on the side. And it caught on, and we started doing really well with that. And then my wife got a job here in Vegas through the cannabis industry. And just through here and auction houses over the United States, we were able to find other books and art that we repurpose. In Vegas, a great thing about Vegas is that people come and go from here, and they win a lot of money and they lose a lot of money. So there's a lot of stuff that gets left behind here. And books and arts, fortunately for me and everyone who buys from me, is really cheap. And so what we do is we just make sure that some of this stuff doesn't end up in landfills and gets back out in circulation.
Yeah, I was just going to say it's interesting because the cannabis industry here in Vegas is only, a couple of years old. Aaron, when you get a chance, look at the live feed when you can, because right now there's a shadowing of the. You got it? Thank you. Anyway, sorry. This is what happens when you produce a show live at the same time. So we apologize that on some of the pictures there's an overlap of the different links and sites that Go Live is on. So we apologize. We're working on clearing that up right now. It's just kind of interesting what brings people here because the cannabis industry is only a couple of years old here in Vegas. Maybe
Correct.
5-6 years roughly.
Oh yeah, it's all over the place too.
Yeah.
So that brought your wife here, and you figure obviously what you do can just be done anywhere.
Well, at that the reason we were doing when I was in the fashion industry, the cannabis Giggle Therapeutics was a side thing. We were just doing that for fun. We had done it. Products my wife and I met through roller derby, and she was bruised up a lot and pumped up a lot.
Who did she roll for?
In San Luis Obispo, the Sonoma County Roller Girls and the Resurrection Roller
I don't mean
Girls.
to digress, but does she know there's roller derby out here?
Oh yeah. And after a massive concussion, she realized that maybe derby is not in her future.
Yeah. But does she still like to go?
We have. Like anything.
I don't mean
you
to
get
digress off the topic, but
if you get heavily involved in anything for a while, you need to step back. And
Sure.
we were on the board and we were on the team. My daughter played. You get years of that. It's like, all right, let's
back away.
So, anyways, when
Yes.
we
Sorry, I digress like I usually do.
it's fine. When we where
We're talking about moving here to cannabis industry and how the population's only been for a couple of years here in Vegas.
Yeah,
That's all right.
Yeah, she basically we put our company on hold to wait to see what California would do. She got offered a job out here, and I was just planning on writing. That was what we, to get Giggle Therapeutics started. The whole point was to get it to a level where we could just be on the board or sell it off, and that we can write. My wife loves to paint, so those were going to be. We wanted to focus on art. That was going to be our method of doing it. So once we closed Giggle Therapeutics, and she got a job out here, then I just fell right into writing.
Right.
And I was already writing for Dope Magazine and Vegas Cannabis and High Times, and so I just wanted to continue doing that. And at that time, I thought, well, I've got all the free time now. I can also work on my novels and my cookbook, and I've got a variety of. I'd like to dabble in. I want to write about that, and I want to
Sure.
do this, and
Sure.
so it's not just one category for me. And then her company shut down. So I had to pull out of my writing retirement after that.
The best laid plans of men, right, often go awry. I'm on your website because not only you have other things besides art and the pillow I love. You get these motivational pillows that you can find, and the pillow is pretty cool. It's only $34, and it simply says it's your choice every day to be an a-hole or be kind. And I thought that's great. This over here, though, the totem pole bookends. When that picture came up, I got to tell you what I first thought they were. I mean, they're just quick to the eye. They don't look like bookends right there. I had to look twice to realize they were bookends.
Yeah, they kind of look like those Easter Island statues that you're thinking of.
No, not even close. But
what are you hallucinating?
no, yeah, exactly what I'm hallucinating. But anyway, I digress once again. But there's a lot of great artwork and novelties here on the website. But more importantly, let's go back to the book, because right now that is your thing right now. Now, people can buy the book, obviously, through your website, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
And there's more
Amazon
books
and-
on there. I mean, it's not just your
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean, we've been collecting, like I said, for a long time. Plus, there's some places here in Las Vegas that we found that liquidates before they go to landfills. So we go in and we pull from there, and then we can resell them at dollars,
Sure.
basically, and keep them in circulation. We also work with Spread the Word Nevada, which is a program that gives books back to underprivileged kids. So they take children's books, and in the beginning of the school, kids can go before class starts, flip through, grab a book that they want, and take it home for free.
Right on. That's
So
great.
yeah, we love that program. I mean, reading's so important. And
Oh yeah, especially for kids. Growing up, I grew up in LA, and so this van used to come by and give all the kids any book you wanted. Of course, I went for the sport. Okay, you have a sports book? You got a sports book? Sure enough, I remember the very first book I found. Kenny Stabler was on it, and I thought to myself, "This is great. Can my dad buy this book?" No, you can have it. Oh,
that's it.
fabulous! I still have that book.
There you go.
Free.
See?
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, reading touches lives in so many different ways, and you never know how a book can do that. I just want to remind everybody, you are listening and watching to Twin Brothers from Different Mothers. I am Aaron Phillips. Rich Perez sitting in for Neil Portnoy today, and to our right, in studio, of course, if you're just listening to us, it doesn't matter where you visualize this, is our special guest today, Schwa Leitard, who is the author of a book called Oh, the A-Holes You'll Meet. We're talking about that. Thank you for watching. Remember, if you cannot sit in front of your computer, download the Go Live Vegas app to your Apple or Android. Take us on the go. This show will replay Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific, as well as being immediately available on the Twin Brothers from Different Mothers Facebook page as a podcast, and the rest of the sites will have the show up as well. So please reshare us. If you have a question, please call in 702-660-7666. We would love for you to be part of today's show. The website is avantbooks.com. Also on Instagram at Avant Pop Books, and on Facebook, Avant Pop Books as well. I want to mention, you'll see on the website too that your book was one of the finalists, Book Among Poetry finalists of the Feathered Quill Book Awards for 2020. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, well, it was kind of cool. It's an ongoing awards program for poets and writers, and this year they had there were so many that were close to the winning pool that they had to release the finalists. So there was a handful of us that were just a point or two away from being second and third place, or third place, I suppose, and so they were so excited that they had so many books that were liked by the judges that they decided to release them, and I happen to be one of them.
On your website, next to the announcement, one of the folks wrote, the author produces poetry that is a clever and original play on words, quote unquote, to Seuss. Oh, the places you'll go with a twist on the realities of life. That's pretty cool.
That was the idea. Yeah.
Did you write that, or did you have something? Because it's not mentioned anymore.
I did not write that. People can review it on Amazon.
Of course,
Please
and it is
do.
on Amazon. And what's it selling for on Amazon?
I have, I'm not sure, $17 maybe, $16,
Okay.
$17.
So look it up on
I do know
Amazon.
that somebody's already reselling it on eBay, which makes me happy.
Really? Well, that's good. Do you get a cut on the resale?
No, but that's quite all right.
It's a good honor to have it out there.
You know?
Absolutely. That people are interested and want to reshare it is pretty cool. Do you want to give a shout out to anybody special while we're chatting? Since your wife's not here, you might want to do that.
Oh well, yeah. Well, my agent,
Exactly.
my broker, my wife, Sugar Lateart. Yeah. She's in LA right now, making the big money.
And she's a darling. We met her at the same festival that we met you guys at.
She's definitely the brain of the operation. Yeah, she actually she's an artist herself, and she's gonna be so upset that I forgot the name of it. But there's a local restaurant that takes art and writing, and they put it in their menu every year, and they keep it there for a year. And we both submitted, and obviously she's the really talented one because she got picked. One of her one-line drawings will be in there coming this next year, and
Right
I
on.
don't remember which restaurant that is, but it's here in Las Vegas.
Cool. That'd be great. Well, when you find out or confirm that,
we'll
let
put
us
that
know.
out there.
So, where did you grow up? Tell us a little bit about your childhood. 'Cause
I grew up a little bit all over California, mainly in a little town called Ridgecrest, which is just right over the border here in the Mojave.
Yeah.
And we're literally, this weather is what I'm used to. But a little desert town, you want to get out of there pretty fast. And 2 weeks after I graduated high school, I moved to San Luis Obispo and lived in the Central Coast for 13 years. In Morro Bay, Los Osos, and then from there moved up to a little town called Sebastopol, up past San Francisco and Sonoma County, and that's where
Very nice.
I began working for the fashion company up there that was doing organic and fair trade apparel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very big in the Bay Area, correct? I mean, they have these art parks over by Fisherman's Wharf, and every time I'm up there, I see some exotic type thing like that, very organic.
Yeah, they got the money to burn up there, so organic is, it's a great thing. It's a great thing for the planet,
It
and
is.
hopefully we can get it to a price point that everyone can afford.
Right on. I have a question that came into the chat room from Andy, who is listening in Minnesota right now. He wants to know if you have any tips or help. He is looking for himself because he wants to open up a dispensary in Minnesota when the state legalizes it.
Best thing to do is get involved with your local groups like Normal. They are a fantastic group to be associated with that helps make change. The best thing to do is get involved politically in your local scene. Networking is the best thing to do because you're going to want to work with people, and people are going to want to work with you if they know you. It's the industry. It's a tough one right now because it's all over the place. There's big money coming in. There's people who have fought to get it to where it is that are getting pushed out. Every state's different. The federal government doesn't know what they're doing. I mean, we got a problem with CBD, which is non-psychoactive, but we're legalizing psychedelic mushrooms. I mean, I love it. I love it, but they have no concept of what they're doing. The federal government.
For the person who doesn't really know, because it's confusing. If you don't know anything about these products like CBD, and then you have a regular marijuana,
Hemp oils
right?
and all that
hemp
stuff.
oils.
Yeah.
So CBD has no drug effect on anybody?
It's a cannabinoid system. Think of opium. Opium, if you first break it down, you get morphine. Keep breaking it down, you get heroin. It's kind of the same thing. There's all these compounds to one plant, and then you break it down and you can pull out specific things. Well, THC is one of the things you can pull out from the cannabinoids. CBD is also another one. CBD is non-psychoactive. CBG. These are things that help with different parts. When you're high, you feel good. Well, that could be the CBD acting along with the THC. So it's just different.
Because you're seeing a lot of
compounds a
creams.
plant.
for
and
arthritis.
then where
A
there
lot of
comes
people swear
from.
by 'em.
Yeah, it does work. It does work. But like any fast uptake trend, you got to make sure the products you're getting are tested and certified.
Right.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of garbage out there, like anything else. Think of vitamins. Vitamins are great, but are you sure the ones you're taking are doing what they
Right.
say they're going to do?
Right.
It's the same type
Fish
of thing.
oil.
Yeah, and that's unfortunately one of the big problems is instead of focusing on testing, people are focused on busting. And it's not the way to
true.
go.
Yeah.
We need to figure out how this plant works properly and best and how people consume it safely instead of, poo-pooing it and saying it doesn't work or saying, oh, it's all great, it's all magical.
Yeah.
You know, let's be honest and figure out how this thing's going to really help humanity.
702-660-7666 is our number. 702-660-7666. On your website, I clicked on the link where I was mentioning the award that you had gotten, and now it's up on the screen. You can click through and buy just the book for $16.95, but I love the kit next to it. You can get a Oh, the A-Holes You'll Meet signed collector's pack, $24.95. What's in that pack, besides the book, obviously?
We got a couple of stickers and a couple of pens. You know, since we had the graffiti artists do this, we wanted to do some things that, you know, people can also graffiti out there. So the stickers they can slap out. And then a couple of pens, just because, you know, we do comic expos, and the kids love that stuff. And we like it, too. And then we got
Right
a
on.
postcard, I think, in there, so you can send your favorite a-hole or non-a-hole.
You've been nominated.
I do like the 1,000-page book idea with pictures of it.
Oh, yeah, the coffee
Of
book
all
table.
these guys we've met. You could, between all three, I'm sure we could fill this
We
book.
could probably fill it up. That'll be the next edition. That'll be Oh, the A-Holes Part 2 coming
There you
out.
go.
How about a film with that, too? That would be fun.
Yeah, well, our idea is to keep talking with different artists and have a different artist do it either
Oh.
every other year. Or,
Right on. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
awesome.
You have another question? Because if
No.
not, I'm going to switch to
Good.
getting
Go
to know
ahead.
you. We're going to have some fun.
Let's get to know him.
All
I'm
right.
ready.
We have a little segment here that everybody loves, and we're talking about the book, your background, and everything. But I'd like people to know our guests on a personal level, all right? And so the questions I'm going to ask you, they're rapid-fire stuff. They're things that basically, when I ask you the question, just boom, hit it quickly. Don't think too long about it. Just kind of give me your first response, all right?
All right.
So with that, here we go. Your first question, favorite actor of all time?
Favorite actor of all time is probably Tim Robbins.
Oh, that's a name
That's a
I have
good
not.
one.
That's a good
That's
one.
a good
Shawshank
one.
He's a great
Redemption, right?
writer. That's why. Have you seen?
He's
it?
a lot behind the scenes more now, isn't he?
He does everything.
All
He
right.
does everything.
Tim
Like,
Robbins.
his
Pitch.
movies, he's probably one of the best activist writers
Yes. Yeah.
historically of movies that I've ever
See, he was with Susan Sarandon, wasn't he?
I believe
Yes.
they do have children. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not married anymore, I don't think. I don't know. If anybody knows.
Bring him on.
Yeah.
Who's your all-time favorite actress?
Oh, jeez. Winona Ryder.
Winona Ryder. Okay,
That's a good
okay.
one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. All right, favorite all-time movie that when it comes on, you're dropping everything, you're getting your favorite adult beverage, popcorn, and say, leave me alone.
You know, that would probably be, because it's so hard to find, Tim Robbins' movie, The Cradle Will Rock.
Ooh, I remember that title from years ago.
Yeah.
Never saw it, though.
It's hard to find. I think you can watch it on YouTube now, but it's a really, really good one that he did.
Okay. Favorite music genre?
I love all music. You know, I mean, I listened to a band. I was listening to Tennis this morning. The woman has a beautiful, beautiful voice, great music. Devotchka is another fantastic. But I also listen to things like Ministry and Sepultura, which is speed metal. So, you know, it depends on the mood, the time of day, and what I got going on.
Favorite all-time song, then when it comes on in your car, the windows are closed, you're bebopping and getting looks from people next to you.
Man, you know, that's anything with bass. I'm rocking all the time, so I don't know that I can narrow one down.
Okay. All right. Besides the title in your book, what is your favorite curse word? And you can't say it on the internet, by the way.
The older I get, the more my curse words are more foolish than anything else.
That's
like
okay.
dingleberry and
God, I haven't heard that in
flubber
like ages.
and just silly words that you know exactly what I mean. Most curse words I think come best from the eyes without any word at all.
Ooh, the stare down, the rock eyebrow.
Yeah.
Rock.
Jack Nicholson through a door hole.
Oh my
I'm
God.
telling you. So,
There's Johnny. If money were no object, what would be your dream car that you'd love to see parked in your driveway?
I do not want any cars whatsoever. I would want a teleporter parked in my driveway so I could just go anywhere at any time.
Nice.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm not a car guy.
Scotty, beam me up. 3 to beam. Best vacation ever taken?
The one that I haven't taken yet.
Well, that was my next question. What is your bucket list vacation?
My wife and I were going to go to Berlin for our honeymoon, and I'd still like to make it out there one of these times. Personally, my favorite place to vacation is my backyard.
Yeah.
I love being home.
Yeah.
Do you have a pool in the backyard or anything?
You know what? We have one in our apartment complex. We had a big farm.
I was going to say, I
when we
thought
were in
first it was it's in
California.
his apartment. I was like, wow,
We
that's
thought
a big
about
apartment.
a jacuzzi in there, but we're sure about the flooring.
That's right.
But yeah, no, we're an apartment complex since we moved out here.
Right on.
So, but eventually we're in Vegas. We got to have a pool.
Nice.
Got to have the water, right?
Yeah.
Don't you have a pool in your place?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
How often do you use it? Because you're always busy. So
Yeah, well, not
your
very,
wife probably uses it a
not
lot
very
more.
often because it's so cold lately.
Well, not now. Not in February.
Yeah,
do you use
no,
it?
you
but-
can't use it for 6 months. People don't realize it gets cold here. I run into people all the time. Oh, it's always 100 degrees. No, it's not always 100 degrees.
For 2.5 months. That's
Don't
about
tell
it.
them that.
That's right.
Everyone will be coming out.
That's right. All right. Describe your favorite meal from top to bottom.
Oh, my favorite meal. I am a huge fan of medium rare steak and
Okay.
a salad, full dressed salad. You got everything in there.
Is that as your side or is your appy?
That's everything right there.
Right there.
Big giant silver bowl full of salad and vegetables and a lot of medium rare steak.
Favorite dressing on the salad?
I like, I'm a simple ranch, but I'll do just about anything unless it gets too sweet. The poppy
Okay.
seed one I can't do anymore, or that sweet French.
The,
Mango-ish.
what's the French one that we like to use? I'm blanking on it. Anyway, it's a craft. Anyway, any desserts to finish off your meal?
Oh, like most people, I just love ice cream.
There you go. Favorite ice cream flavor?
Free.
Nice.
Where's your favorite place in town to get ice cream?
Smiths. They have.
Oh, so
some
you buy the
great-
gallon stuff
They
and
have
that-
the
yeah, they-
great sales over at
Smith's
Smiths.
is good. Blue Bunny.
Remember, I'm a writer. I spend a lot of time in my pajamas behind a computer. If I go out, it's to the grocery store. And,
Right on. Right on.
Right.
Well, these stores now home deliver, right?
It's
At
crazy,
Albertsons
isn't
and
it?
Smith's, you can home deliver. You don't have to go out
that's the
anymore.
problem, though. AI's taken over everything. I like human
everything.
connection.
Yeah.
Human
Absolutely.
connection.
Favorite Las Vegas thing to do that you like to do to just simply relax?
Get high.
All right.
Wow.
It's legal here. You
Yeah,
know?
absolutely.
Yeah,
Favorite
go.
typical Las Vegas thing as a tourist that you like to do?
Head out to the Red Rocks.
Okay, Red Rock Canyon.
Yeah.
Matt, you do the trails and stuff.
There's we don't go into the park, but everywhere around there.
Okay,
Yeah, it's
that's
so,
cool.
So gorgeous. The weather drops too. The temperature drops, so it could be hot here. You cruise out there, and it's just perfect.
Have you ever seen a burro up there?
I have.
Have you?
Not lately. I'm talking about burros from 1988, 89. That's when I took my little kids at the time. There was just a herd of them all over the place.
Not as great a place to go to now that Bonnie Springs is closed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a whole. I mean, you have to like nature now, except for the Spring Mountain Ranch where they do the place, Super Summer Theater in the summertime. But without Bonnie Ranch up there in the old West Town, and unless you want to go ghost hunting up there, which you can do. and
Or
people
UFO
always do.
hunting.
Am I what?
Or UFO hunting.
What's a faux hunting? What's that?
UFO. It's unidentified flying objects.
UFO. No, you're an UFO. What? That's the next topic of the book. No, they actually have done paranormal investigations up there.
My cover story for Vegas Cannabis right now covers the publisher who just photoed and he believes he was abducted. Did a big article on it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Aaron
headed
sounds like a
north.
guest for After Dark.
There you go.
This.
Yeah, that just comes out this month. So
Right
pick
on.
up your latest Vegas Cannabis magazine.
When your friends and family reach out to you, they want to come to Vegas. What's the first thing? What suggestions do you have for them to do when they come to Vegas, besides not staying at your house or something?
Oh, you took my joke. The art district I love, and it's starting to build up down there. There's some fun pubs and breweries and stuff. Anything off the strip, unless you're going to a show, I think down in that whole area is great. Fantastic.
Okay. What's your favorite book that you've read all time since you love to read?
Fanny, The True Adventures of Fanny Hookabout Jones by Erica Zhang.
Okay.
She's
Have you ever read that?
Excellent. I have not.
another romance. I mean, I can name off romance writers left and right. You guys
The last Fanny I heard was Fanny Flagg. How long ago was that?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's an actress from yesteryear.
That's
She was-
Orson Bean type stuff.
That's right. Wasn't she on Match Game an awful lot?
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
exactly. She was down in that lower number 6 spot.
That's the last time I heard that till he just said that.
Fanny Flagg. Oh my goodness gracious. All right. What career would you like to have tried if you were not doing what you currently do today?
Oh, geez. I always thought I'd love to be in the music industry, although I have no skills whatsoever to be in that industry. So I've done a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff. And, it's like, be careful of meeting your heroes.
Right.
Because, it's not always what you imagine it to be. So I don't know that anything that I've dreamed of that I would necessarily be like, I got to do
Wait,
that.
have you met one of your heroes that something didn't
Oh,
go?
I've met plenty of people.
any
that,
stories you can give us?
You don't have to name
Jeez,
names.
Yeah, no, I
Anybody-
don't know. It's just overall, I think musicians, especially singers and guitar players, they're very into themselves, and I think you reach that point because you have to work really hard to get there, or you're just super talented and everybody wants a piece of you, and so you finally just have to put up walls. But egos are always a thing. Like, oh man, this guy's gonna be really cool. I got so much to talk about, and they don't give a damn about you, and just don't want to waste their time with you. But it's another tough industry too. So.
It is.
Try going to a bar in Hawaii, and you're sitting there with somebody who should be in the Hall of Fame with another radio host, and you're sitting in this bar, and a guy pulls up with a bike that has the logos of that person's team, and he asks out of the blue while you're having dinner for this person to autograph the bike. And rightfully so, this individual was surly at best to his response to that guy.
Yeah.
And that guy walked out with his tail between his legs because, in his opinion, obviously that superstar was not what he thought he was.
Yeah.
So I'll never forget. That was an interesting experience. But okay, now in your bio, I talked about you're a wannabe comedian. Talk a little more about that.
Oh, I try to be funny as much as possible.
Okay.
So in my writing, I try to do stand up for a while. The thing I like best about writing is I can repolish it over and over, which you can do if you can stand up in front of your audience and recite it over and over. But for me, I like having a paper I can keep looking back down to. And I realized after doing stand up that it was it's not as easy as people think.
Have
and
you done open mic nights
Oh
and
yeah.
stuff? When's the last one you did?
Oh gosh, it's been probably 4 years in
okay.
Sebastopol, back in my
Gotcha.
hometown. There.
Have you ever tried an open mic night?
I have not. I tried the karaoke thing. I got up once and I was as comfortable as I've been with the NFL Network, this, that, and the other. I got up there and I was like, I am not singing it.
What did you sing?
Oh,
Or what did
God.
they want you to sing?
What I think I sang Eddie Rabbitt's "Love a Rainy Night." Yeah,
I
that
love
didn't
a
go
rainy
well.
night.
I would not be a good candidate for the Masked Singer. No, I'd be out the first show.
But they wouldn't know who you were.
And no, then they'd say, "Who's he?"
Exactly. I did karaoke once, and it's actually on tape at my daughter's bas mitzvahs. We had a karaoke guy. There's a treat for the kids. And my former Vegas and Rap partner, Ricky Cash, we did a duet of If I Were a Rich Man from Fiddler on the Roof. He was drunk off his ass. And it was so funny to see it in video.
Wow.
I wasn't because I was paying the bill. And
Maybe next week you can play that video.
Oh, that's a good idea. It's actually on the CD. I have to get it burned off, but that's not a bad idea.
that'd be a
And
great idea.
then I'd have to see if I can get him to call in and try and debunk it. So
So
that's
can
not
you
bad.
sing? Can you hold a tune?
No. But I do love doing poetry readings because I can have the paper right there in front of me.
Do you know one off the top of your head that you can share?
No.
No, seriously.
No.
Nothing.
No.
You want to share
I
an
like to
excerpt
be
from your book
prepared.
that you might know off the top of your head?
I brought a book if you want me to read a little
Yeah,
some of
let's
the
grab.
book. I
Let's
can
grab
do
your
that.
book. Go ahead, step off,
yeah,
grab
I
it. We only
love
have a
it. I
couple of
love it.
minutes left, but let's
I
grab an
love it.
excerpt of the book.
You know, and all these paintings behind
Yes,
you.
yes.
You should say something about those.
Well,
because-
yeah, the pictures you see flashing behind us on the screens while we're waiting for Schwa to come back is, of course, all the artwork of Neil Portnoy. Portnoy Studios, which is located down at 1537 West Oakey Boulevard. You can also check him out at idrawpeople.com is his website. But yeah, everything done, and everything is done magic marker by hand. No paint, no chalk, no nothing. Everything is, and you can find anybody from A to Z in your vocabulary. And he does animals. He does culture pictures. So give it a check out down at his gallery or and of course on Facebook, idrawpeople.com. Okay. So let's read it. This is an excerpt from his book.
All right, and you were correct. It is "Oh the A-Holes."
Right.
Yeah, we figured that'd be easier. Nobody's going to buy it for their
Besides,
kids
when I
if it
upload this to
doesn't say
YouTube, then I can keep it that it's still a G-rated show.
Here we go. Here we go.
You've come a long way, but your journey's just begun. I'm proud of you, kid. Now go out and make your life fun. I want to point out you'll meet quite a few. It's what this planet is full of, but I don't want one to be you. Oh, the a-holes you'll meet, they seem to be everywhere you go, from the richest mansions to the poorest ghettos.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice. That kind
Very
of paints a
smooth.
general, and he's got a great voice for it, doesn't he?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Maybe a podcast should be in his future too.
I like it. I like it.
About all
I
the
like
topics
it.
that you do.
There you go.
For sure. All right. So real quickly, give us the website again.
AvantPopBooks.com. And you can also find personal information at Giggle Productions on Instagram. And yeah, come on out.
Now you have an upcoming event, Las Vegas Book Festival in the fall, as well as at the Las Vegas Toy Con, which I will also be at. You have an author booth at the Toy Con that is March 13th through the 15th, and you can get more information at vegastoycon.com, so check them out there. Thank you to the CCSD for actually providing free tickets for employees, so my wife and I will go there. We don't get access to everything, but at least we can enter and enjoy the booths. Buy the book, man. It's a fun book to read. Graphically, it's a nice, sharp, colorful book that catches your eye. And definitely check it out again through his website. You can buy it $16.95 or get the full pack with autographs and the postcard you can send to your favorite a-hole.
Hey,
I would need a few postcards.
Wow.
All right. So what do we have left there, boss? A couple of minutes? 5 minutes. All right. Next week, I'm going to digress here with a quick commercial for Big Valley Wrestling. February 16th, 2 p.m. The Valentine's Day season is upon us, and therefore it's Valentine to bring back the original and game-changing BVW title, the Fighting Championship, something everybody will love. Here we're talking about all the tag teams will actually be split up and going against each other for the opportunity to win the Fighting Championship, which basically is an opportunity to challenge any champion that they want at any time during the year. Doors will open 1:30 p.m. Bell time is at 2 p.m. Again, this is at the Sahara Event Center. Tickets, general admission is $12. Kids 12 and under get in free with the paying adult. And, of course, if you are a senior, I believe there's a discount as well. And then the following weekend is the Level Up Expo, which is pretty much a gamer kind of thing. I'm still stuck on Pong, so I don't have I don't know all these games. But Versus Professional Wrestling has some action going on there as well, which I will be there doing announcing on Friday. Matt Vandegrift takes on Shaggy. For the Versus Championship. One-up cup battle. You'll see it's a multi-person battle royale to take home the first cup. Then there's a Tornado Tag Turmoil, Big Boss Battle on Sunday. Bottom line is, if you go to the Level Up Official Expo Facebook page, you can get tickets. The only way you can get into this, even just to see the wrestling, is you have to get registration. And if you use code VPW20 Versus Professional Wrestling 20, you get $5 off each day, and kids will be free. Friday, the show starts at 4, Saturday and Sunday, 1 p.m. That's February 21 through 23rd at the Convention Center. Did I say that all in one breath?
You did.
That's not bad.
So
You taught me well.
You mentioned Shaggy.
Shaggy.
Wait a minute. Now
Scooby will be in the corner.
We have Scooby Shaggy. We got Shaggy the singer. We have... Now, who's this Shaggy?
This is a professional wrestler, Shaggy, who's part of the independent scene here in not only Vegas, but California and Arizona. And he's a good kid. He's a good wrestler.
Yeah,
I think he's a skateboarder.
It's a fun one.
So,
in
come
10
on
years
down.
It'll be a different Shaggy.
Do you follow wrestling?
No.
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 I know you don't.
Yeah.
Why don't you come down on that Sunday and be my guest while we're doing it at the Sahara Event Center?
Hey, I got nothing going on. I do nothing.
You got nothing going on. All right, Schwa, thank you so much for coming.
I want to thank you guys for having me.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
I appreciate everybody
it.
out there.
Again, the book is titled "Oh, the A-Holes." Sit tight. You don't have to go off yet until we sign off. "Oh, the A-Holes You'll Meet." Great book. Just check it out on AvantPopBooks.com. Well, Mr. Perez, your duty's almost up filling in for Neil. Appreciate you.
Yeah, that was great. I appreciate 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
What are you
Thank
doing next week? Kick
you
Neil.
know,
No, I'm not. Maybe.
Hey, right now I'm doing nothing. I'm just sitting back.
And enjoying.
CBS hasn't called me lately.
That's okay.
They're waiting actually till baseball starts.
Okay,
So I'm kind of
that's
laying
cool.
low for the minute.
Right on.
I have been a little busy with some other things that I do. But,
Right on.
But yeah,
All right.
I'm ready to
We
rock
put
and roll.
feelers out there, right? You never know what happens.
Oh, yeah.
All right. With that, hey, I'm just going to remind you that we'll be back on the air next week, same time, same bad channel. I don't know who our guest is just yet. As always, just check our Facebook page. Please share our page. Go like our page, Twin Brothers from Different Mothers. I have a special shout out to a friend who is following our shows, Zarina, who lives in northern Mexico near the Texas border. Thank you, Zarina, for listening and tuning into our show. And Kelly's out there, and we have some new friends joining it. Please reshare our post. This will be available on our Facebook page, Twin Brothers from Different Mothers, immediately following the show. And this show will re-air Wednesday, 6 p.m. Go Live Vegas on their site as well as on their downloadable mobile app. I did all that again, almost in one breath. Neil, drive home safely. Mr. Perez, thank you, sir.
Thank
As
you.
always.
Thanks for having me.
Aaron, thank you
Anytime.
for pushing the buttons, making us look good. Schwab, we'll see you down the pike.
Hey, I appreciate it.
Have a
Thanks,
great week
everybody
from all
out
of
there.
us here at Twin Brothers and Different Mothers. We are out.